What's up, self healers? Lisa Lightfeather here. Welcome to my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and your spiritual journey. If you like my energy, you're checking out my vibe, don't forget to like and subscribe, yes? Hit the bell notification so that you know when I upload, and don't forget to leave a comment. So today I wanted to come on and speak about the topic of jumping timelines, yes? So what is jumping timelines? So as we evolve on our spiritual journey, as our energetic body evolves, we are no longer allowed to stay within a certain frequency. And so whether your physical body is ready or not, if your spiritual body is ready to evolve, it will evolve and it will drag your physical body kicking and screaming if it has to. So when we jump timelines, it's because we've passed some tests. We've passed the level that we were supposed to be on. We're on these different levels, kind of like I guess you can look at it as some type of video game of some sort, but you're on different levels. And so in the spirit realm, and so when you graduate from a particular spiritual level, you automatically jump timelines. Yes, or when you pass a certain test that something you've been doing over and over and over and over again, and then when you pass that test, you may jump timelines. Yeah, and so in jumping timelines, everything around you stays the same except your frequency. And so you can really, if you're really in tune with yourself, you can feel it when you jump timelines because you kind of feel outside of your body. You feel like that nothing around you is familiar, although everything still looks familiar. Yes. And so when you jump timelines, you start to see things differently. You start to see places, people, and things differently. So something that may have resonated with you prior to jumping the timeline may all of a sudden not resonate with you anymore. Or someone who you used to communicate with and you were both on the same frequency, you could talk with them all day or you could hold a conversation with them. All of a sudden, you're not able to really hold a conversation with that person anymore. Yes. And so, or places that you may have went to entertain yourself or in some sort, they may not resonate with you all of a sudden. And you just think you changed your mind. But a lot of times what really happens, this doesn't resonate with everyone's not going to resonate with this video. A lot of times what happens is that you jump timelines. And so you can be standing right next to someone, right, in the same room, the same time, the same day, and feel like you're in the room alone. Or you can be right next to someone and both of you can be in two different timelines, can be on two different frequencies. A lot of times when you jump timelines on a regular basis, it's difficult to communicate with people because they don't really hear what's coming out of your mouth. Right? Because you're seeing things from a different frequency, from a different perspective. And so sometimes you will have to dumb yourself down because you'll see them looking at you like a deer in the headlights. You know, they're not really hearing what you're saying because you're not on the same frequency. Yeah. And another thing that happens when you jump timelines is that you can see people for who they are all of a sudden. Like someone may have been in your life and you don't really see them for who they are. You know, they come across as someone who's supporting you or someone who is willing to do the work or someone who is willing to be a part of your spiritual journey. Then all of a sudden when you jump timelines, you see them from a different perspective. Yeah. And so sometimes people who are in your lives under the pretense or under the assumption of supporting you will only support you as long as you are on the same frequency as them. The second that you are not on the same frequency as them, then they just fall off, right? They either dump you or they naturally fall off. Yeah. And so a lot of times when you jump timelines, you'll be able to see people for who they really are. You'll be able to see if they are actually for you or against you. Because when you're on the same frequency with someone, sometimes it's difficult to see them. It's difficult to see the shadow aspects of them or what their true motives are. But when you jump a timeline and then you look at them from that perspective, now you can see that that person was really only there for you maybe possibly only there for you because you were serving them in some purpose, like your energy was serving them in some purpose. But when you jump a timeline, when you elevate up, now they can't touch you, they can't get close to you. Yeah. And so they end up falling off, right? You don't have to say anything. These people will naturally distance themselves from you because two unlike frequencies cannot vibrate together. Yeah. The old saying, birds of a feather flock together, it this is what they were meaning by that. This old saying of birds of a feather flock together is meaning that like frequencies can flock together, right? And then the saying in the spiritual community, or if you want to call it new age community, is your vibe attracts your tribe, right? And so when you attract someone on a different frequency from you, like for example, when an empath attracts a narcissist per se, that empath has not learned their lesson. Now they may be evolving in other areas, but in that area they have not learned their lesson, as far the lesson that needs to be learned between the dynamic of the narcissist and the empath. And so they continuously attract the the narcissist, right? They continue to attract, because again, opposites also attract, right? But although they're opposites, there's something within that empath, because all an empath is a codependent, right? So there's a sickness there of codependency. Now, codependency can be healed. I've yet to see narcissism, like extreme cases of narcissism, be healed. But the reason that codependent empath is attracting that narcissist is because the codependency is vibrating on the frequency of the narcissist. And so until you heal the need to be needed, the need to be wanted, until you jump timelines and get out of that dynamic, you will continue to attract narcissists no matter how much you heal yourself, right? Because you're not jumping the timeline, you're not leaving that frequency. Yeah. And so this is the reason that the saying your vibe attracts your tribe. And so most people will not get this video because most people do not know what it means or what it feels like to jump a timeline. It feels like you're walking between two separate worlds. It feels like you're just walking along, you're just doing your everyday thing, and all of a sudden the room shifts. And you're like, what just happened? Yeah. You jumped a timeline. Yeah. And the reason you're jumping the timeline, because although the physical body is not ready to evolve to the next level, the spirit is tired and it's ready to go to the next level. Or you've passed some type of test. Now, say for example, you attract a narcissist, and then all of a sudden you say, you know what? No, thank you. You see the signs, you see the symptoms, you see the cycle, and you say, no, thank you. You passed the test. You may jump a timeline, right? Or there's some kind of strife going on within the spiritual community, and you say, you know what? I don't want no parts of that. And you mean it from your heart. You jump a timeline because we're here to evolve. Yeah, we're here to evolve, and evolving, it requires seeing oneself and seeing the cycles within oneself and passing the spiritual test. Yes. So, that's why you'll have little children, 5 or 6 years old, like my grandson, my granddaughter, they will say things. You're like, where did they learn that from? They came in this earth, they birthed into this earth on a frequency, on a certain timeline that surpasses a lot of their parents. A lot of children are surpassed their parents on their timelines because they are birthed into a particular timeline. Yeah, they come here for a reason. So we go to these different timelines, and it's up to us to see when that's happening, when we are supposed to evolve, when we're supposed to shift. Yeah, and it's a time of celebration, because jumping the timeline is akin to graduating. It's akin to a rites of passage. Yeah. So pay attention to your body. Pay attention to the shifts that occur in your life, and when people are looking at you like a deer staring in the headlights, know that they are on a different frequency than you. Right. And when you jump timelines, you are able to see different frequencies. If people have negative intentions towards you, you see them before they even know they're coming for you. Right. You see them before they come, because you're on a different timeline. It's like standing on top of a hill and looking down, or it's like no one can see you because you're just on a different timeline, but you can see them coming. You know what I mean? But people will be drawn to you. They'll come to you, not really knowing what their intentions are. You can always see it when someone comes to you. Like, say, if you're standing in a crowd and someone beelines right towards you, it's because they're drawn to your frequency, you know? But when you're in a different timeline, you can see their motives, like from far away, and then you can dodge that bullet. You can negate that interaction. You know, you don't have to be rude or anything. You know, dumb yourself down a little bit and have a conversation, but see, you know, because, and they're also coming to you because sometimes people are coming to you because they're seeking, and they see your frequency. It's not a conscious thing with these individuals, because it's not the individual, it's the spirit. So it's not a conscious thing. They see your frequency and they beeline right towards you. You could be there with 3 or 4 people and they will be drawn right to you. That's not by coincidence, right? That's not by coincidence. You're vibrating on a different frequency. Their spirit sees that you're vibrating on a different frequency. It's up to you to know what their motives are. Some people are coming because they want what you have. Oh, you don't need that. Give that to me. Right? They want what you have. And then some people are coming because they're seeking guidance in some way. And you can give that guidance, or you can assist in any way that you feel that you can assist, right? But don't let them drain you, or don't let them vape you. And so you see them coming, and when you, like I said, when you're on a certain frequency, you can see their motives before they even know what their motives are. Yeah. So pay attention to your spirit. Pay attention to how you shift. Sometimes you'll just shift. You could be driving, you could be cooking, you could be in the bathtub, and all of a sudden things will just shift. You're just like, oh, I just jumped timelines. Like I said, this video is not for everyone, because everyone is not in tune with themselves to that level or to that degree. But for those of us who know, those of you who know what I'm speaking about, pay attention to those. Those are rites of passages to the next level. And when people start falling off, or people are looking at you like a deer in the headlights, know that this is the reason why. You're not on the same frequency. You're not even in the same timeline. You're nowhere near the same dimension. You're walking on the same earth, but you are in 2 different dimensions. Yes? I hope that this assisted you in some way today. Thank you for tuning into my channel, Closing the Gap. We make a conscious effort to meet you where you're at on your healing and spiritual journey. If you like my energy and you're feeling my vibe, don't forget to like and subscribe. Leave a comment and hit the bell notification so that you know when I upload. We'll see you later.